Welcome to Korean Cinema Channel. Today I would like to send you the following news. Wang Haozhen, now 33, once shared the screen with Guo Yuxin in Bringing Home the National Husband. At the time, many viewers thought the pair was surprisingly compatible, but the buzz didn't last. Fast forward to today, and he's paired with 02-born rising stars Zhai Yiying in the new drama Everlasting Peace, and the reaction has been instant, intense, and impossible to ignore. The first on-set photos leaked online, and suddenly, social media was ablaze. Fans couldn't stop commenting on the unexpected chemistry between the two. At first glance, the age gap, a man in his early 30s and a woman barely out of her 20s, seemed like it might clash with conventional expectations. Yet the images told a completely different story. Every glance, every subtle smile, every casual interaction suggested harmony rather than tension. The contrast between maturity and youthful energy somehow created a magnetic balance, making the scenes feel both tender and charged with possibility. What struck people most was the effortless way Wang Haozhen adjusted his presence around Zhai Yiying. He didn't overshadow her, instead, he created space for her to shine, his calm, commanding aura acting as the perfect foil to her spirited, radiant energy. Together, they framed moments that felt intimate, natural, and entirely believable. Fans quickly began speculating, could this pairing finally be the unexpected but perfect match they've been craving? Industry insiders note that chemistry isn't something you can script, it's a collision of timing, trust, and subtle emotional resonance. And from the looks of it, Wang Haozhen and Zhai Yiying may have stumbled onto a combination that defies logic but enthralls the eye. By the time viewers scroll past the leaks, one thought becomes unavoidable. Sometimes, the most unlikely pairings are the ones you can't stop watching. Zhai Yiying, born in 2002, possesses a presence that is quietly mesmerizing. Her round, delicate features radiate a soft warmth, the kind of gentle charm that draws attention without demanding it. On set, she appeared in a simple beige sweater, her hair neatly styled, exuding an air of effortless grace and understated elegance. There was a clarity to her look, a freshness that seemed almost out of place amid the hustle of a busy film set, but precisely that freshness made her impossible to ignore. Standing beside her, Wang Haozhen was a study in contrast and command. Tall, broad-shouldered, and impeccably dressed in a dark trench coat, he looked every bit the mature leading man. His chiseled features and deep-set eyes gave him a presence that could dominate a scene without uttering a single word. Yet instead of overshadowing Zhai Yiying, he seemed to complement her entirely. The visual juxtaposition, her softness, his strength, created a pairing that was immediately magnetic, capturing the attention of anyone watching. What made their interaction even more compelling wasn't just the visual harmony. In every photo and clip leaked from the set, there was an unmistakable rhythm between them. A fleeting glance, a shared laugh, the subtle way he leaned slyly toward her while she tilted her head in response. It was as if the camera could feel the invisible tension, the unspoken understanding passing between them. Fans online immediately picked up on it, praising the pairing as one of the most surprisingly natural collaborations in recent memory. Despite the potential challenges of an age gap, he in his 30s, she just entering her 20s, the two exuded a chemistry that defied expectation. It wasn't forced or manufactured, it was intuitive. Wang Haozhen's controlled intensity softened around her warmth, while Zhai Yiying's youthful energy found stability in his calm, grounded presence. Together, they created a delicate balance that made their on-screen moments feel both authentic and electric, the kind of rare pairing that leaves audiences holding their breath, waiting for every next gesture from every leaked scene. It was clear, Zhai Yiying's natural elegance paired with Wang Haozhen's quiet magnetism didn't just look good, they told a story on their own. The camera lingered on them, and viewers could almost feel the connection, the silent dialogue happening through expressions and micro-movements. It was the sort of dynamic that made a simple frame feel like a painting, every shot curated to highlight not only their physical compatibility but their unspoken emotional resonance. By the time the images circulated across social media, fans weren't merely commenting, they were obsessed. The unexpected synergy between a young rising star and a seasoned actor proved that sometimes, the most unlikely pairings make the most captivating stories. And as the buzz continued to grow, one thought became unavoidable: some connections are so electric, so undeniable, that age and expectation don't stand a chance on set. Every rehearsal revealed the natural chemistry between them. Zhai Yiying moved with a gentle precision, her gestures light yet deliberate, while Wang Haozhen mirrored her rhythm with an ease that spoke of experience and attentiveness. He often leaned in, quietly holding the script for her, adjusting a page here, pointing to a line there, small, unspoken gestures of care that made the working relationship feel effortless. Watching them, even through the lens, you could sense a rhythm developing, a shared understanding that transcended words when they practiced their lines together. Their timing was impeccable. Every pause, every glance, every subtle inflection and tone flowed as if rehearsed not just through repetition, but through instinct. There was a familiarity in their movements, a trust that allowed them to inhabit their characters fully without hesitation. Fans watching leaked clips could almost feel it, the way they anticipated each other's reactions, the tiny shifts in posture, the unspoken acknowledgement of presence. It wasn't acting in its simplest form, it was living the moment. The day of filming, the location added an extra layer of authenticity. They were in an older residential neighborhood, a place steeped in nostalgia. Fallen leaves covered the cracked pavement, their rustling underfoot punctuating each scene with a subtle reminder of time passing. Electric bikes leaned casually against walls, scattering shadows that danced across the set. This environment, with its understated realism, amplified the intimacy of every scene, making their interactions feel spontaneous rather than staged. Even simple actions, walking side by side, exchanging a brief touch, leaning in to whisper a line, took on a magnetic weight. Wang Haozhen's towering presence next to Zhai Yiying's delicate frame emphasized the contrast between strength and softness, maturity and youth, creating a visual poetry that no director could have fully scripted. Their synergy turned mundane moments into cinematic highlights, every glance and gesture loaded with subtext, and by the time the cameras rolled, the duo transformed the space into something entirely their own. The old neighborhood, the leaves, the scattered electric bikes, all became more than just props. They became witnesses to a quiet, unfolding connection, a dance of proximity and attention, of subtle dominance and tender vulnerability. Even crew members found themselves holding their breath, sensing that something extraordinary was happening in front of them. Through it all, what shone most was the effortless intimacy, the way Wang Haozhen instinctively supported Zhai Yiying, the way she responded with trust and subtle playfulness. It was this delicate balance, this magnetic push and pull, that made the scenes feel so alive, so immediate, that viewers watching from afar could feel their hearts quicken as if they were standing right there beside them. And as the camera captured yet another perfectly timed glance, one truth became unavoidable: some on-screen connections don't just tell a story, they make you believe in it with every fiber of your being. Thank you for watching my channel. See you in the next videos. Thanks.